But if you want to make a difference and you want to get involved and you want your ideas and philosophies to have substance, then you must do it to a level that necessarily pisses someone off that is okay with the status quo. This is my favorite long form video to make because it's actually really easy. I'm going to watch social media and I'm going to tell you my thoughts. So here's my phone. Got to pay some people. Let's see. Oh, I've been looking at Magic cards recently. The new Final Fantasy thing that came out. I think these are tokens. Love Magic. If you want to play Magic the Gathering, I got a whole community on Discord that you can join. All right. We will watch the Instagram. Although I'm beginning to think that TikTok might be more interesting. Okay. Wait a second. Okay, Grant Cardone posted something. This is awesome. Hustler meet a fake hustler. Okay. My wife bought my clothes. I have no idea how, but I'm happy. Us Weekly smiling before the 19 counts of fraud. Bobby Vargas and 2.3 million fraud scheme, okay? Surgical enhanced entrepreneur's life, okay? This looks like this is a bash on Bobby Vargas. So the truth about Joe Vargas and Bobby Awad, if your wife suddenly started buying pizza ovens, 73 TVs, luxury goods, double gas, hiring nannies, housekeepers, and gardeners, would you wonder where that money came from? If your spouse made 7,400 online purchases over the last short period, could she hide that from you without you becoming a suspect? That's what Joe Vargas wants Las Vegas courts to believe. The guy who calls himself Hustler and tells the world he is a street savvy and does masterminds on entrepreneurship, expecting the world to believe that while his wife stole $2.5 million, he knew nothing. Meet Hustler Joe Vargas. In my opinion, as fake as they come and not the worst of it. He is complete fraud when it comes to being a real man, husband, or father. The day his wife goes to court to be charged with 19 felony courts of $2.5 million, he doesn't even go with her. Joe Vargas doesn't mind if his wife goes to jail. What a coward. Investigators discovered that Awad spent $450,000 on Amazon and used the Cardone's money to fraudulently fund a PayPal account, police allege. She spent $169,000 on designer merchandise and made 147 payments totaling $800,000 to Bodella, according to the arrest report. Oh, come back. Police says the Bodella Witness brand founder commingled legal and illegal funds by withdrawing with nearly $2 million from 4 of the couple's credit cards to fund a PayPal account. Awad allegedly used those funds to purchase designer clothing, luxury homes, and to pay for a personal shopper and housekeeper, as well as fund Bodella's business expenses and payroll. She further accused of using Bodella as a front company to launder the proceeds of the theft. Police alleged it in the arrest warrant. Awad appears in Las Vegas Justice Court on Wednesday morning. She faces 19 felony charges, including some charges carrying 8 to 20-year prison sentences per count. Remember, you can fake a Rolls, but you can't fake a jet. You can fake a Rolls Royce, but you can't fake a jet. Cool. Cool. Now, why is this interesting to me and why am I reading some... So, the reason that I'm reading this, first and foremost, I trust Grant Cardone. Why do I trust Grant Cardone? A year ago, Grant Cardone essentially gave me a reason to try to become powerful in life. And the reason was simple. You want to do something, go and fucking do it, but realize that you can't do it for free at the scale that perhaps you want to do it. He told me that money was important. He told me not to be afraid of money. And ever since then, I made sure to follow him on Instagram. I took his course and his courses, and I've followed a lot of the stuff that he's done. And I think the vision behind the 10X movement, all of that stuff, really fucking cool. So if I see that Grant Cardone is posting something about someone, I am not so interested in the someone that he's posting about, but I'm interested in why an educator would post something very specifically. So basically, I learned a couple things from this post. One, watch how your spouse is spending their money. Useful for someone that wants to be wealthy. Two, if a person who is closely associated to someone else claims that they didn't know anything that person was doing, it's well worth thinking about. 3, most of the time when you have people that are dressed up really nice and doing great things, they're not necessarily authentically being wealthy. Most of the people that I've seen on, for instance, what is that channel? Hard School of Hard Knocks, right? This guy goes up and he interviews a bunch of like millionaires, billionaires. And dude, they all look like normal people, right? If you're walking around, you have a bunch of stuff on you. I don't know. Am I supposed to expect that you have a lot of money? Maybe. But don't judge a book by its cover. That's something I get. The other thing is, in general, there's a lot of scams in this world, guys. And how are you to decide if you are a good person or a bad person if when you see a scam, you don't say anything about it and you don't actively augment your relationship with that person to make sure that you distance yourself from that? In other words, if you see something, do you do something or do you sit by and watch? Things I learned.
You know, the rich, when they get rich today, what they do is they go into hiding. And I understand why they do. But if we ever made it, I am not going to not share that with people and show it to them. So the number one reason is this, because I didn't get to see it as a kid. I want to show people and inspire them. I don't have a basketball career. If I was a baseball player, I would show how to make the swing or make the pitch. Or if I was a rapper, I'd show off my chain and show off my golden or platinum albums. In business, if you sell $1 billion of products and you tell people I've done $1 billion over the internet, I've raised another $1 billion. We have 160,000 customers that pay us every year. If I start showing that off and talking about that or showing off, I'm condemned. But if you were a rapper, a ball player, an Olympic athlete, you would show off your medals.
Right.
I've always been inspired by other people's success. I have never envied what other people have done. Whether it was the big house, wow, who lives here? As soon as I walked in this house, who lives here? Who bought this? What did they do? I'm still inspired by it. The private jet, I'm inspired. Who did that? So I don't hate on stuff. Some people do.
Yeah.
And the last reason we do it is because the haters are so predictable and they're so dependable.
Yeah.
I want everybody to understand, like, they're predictable. All you got to do is drop something for them to hate on. And they are predictably, they will comment, they will share, and they will spread your message better than the people that support you. So I love my haters. I would not be where I'm at without my haters.
Dude, again, another thing that I learned from Mr. Cardone, Mr. Grant Cardone. It's better for you to have a negative or a positive effect on someone than no effect. So if you can't have a positive effect and you won't, and you're unwilling to have a negative or a no effect, a negative effect, totally chill. And the reality is also, what was it? On stage, actually, when I went to 10X GrowthCon, the last one, I assume, there was, what was it? Trump's lawyer was talking about, there was like some lawsuits and shit. And literally on stage, they said, if you don't have a lawsuit, you're probably not doing anything. And I would imagine the vast majority of people that if you made it to this point in the video, if you're watching this video, it doesn't make sense because society tells you to be safe. But if you want to make a difference and you want to get involved and you want your ideas and philosophies to have substance, then you must do it to a level that necessarily pisses someone off that is okay with the status quo, you know? And the cool thing about this, the other part of this video is, dude, like, what an awesome way to look at life. To not be envious of people and to instead every single piece of knowledge that you can get to give to other people. I mean, dude, just imagine if the amount of people in this world that had any level of success were constantly doing that. I mean, you wouldn't even need public schools. You would have mentorship programs out the ass. You would have apprenticeships. You would have so many jobs. You would have volunteer positions that actually give you legitimate experience in the real world to translate into a career. You would have all types of stuff. So I just think it's, and the haters thing. Well, I went into the haters thing. But I think it's really important to understand that. Make a mark. Make an impact. Don't be so afraid. You're only going to live a couple years. No one really gives a shit. So go and do something fun and big and exciting. That's what I got out of this one. But I'm going to get out of Grant Cardone stuff because then this will just be a Grant Cardone thing. Dan Martell, never underestimate a person who practices self-education in their free time. Dan Martell, my man. In the description, it says, never underestimate a person who practices self-education in their free time. I've built multiple companies alongside with Ivy League graduates and high school dropouts. The correlation between success and formal education, almost zero. The correlation between success and self-education, nearly perfect. The standouts were rarely the ones with perfect resumes, and they were often the ones who never stopped evolving, the one who refuses to stay the same. The world rewards credentials, but it runs on competence. The degree on your wall tells me what you've been, but what you do at 9 p.m. on a Sunday tells me where you're going. Ooh-wee. You know what I do on 9 p.m. on Sunday? I play Magic the Gathering with my Magic community that I created, essentially myself. So cool. So cool. It's part of the reason I made a video. I probably made multiple videos bashing on dentists. It's probably the reason that when I come across someone that has earned a degree and just does what they do in their degree and is really proud of it, I kind of get turned off on the conversation because I realize that they have not spent the time and they're not consistently spending the time still educating themselves, right? For me, I got out of dental school about a year and some ago. What was it? Basically 2023. Yeah, January 2023, I got out of dental school. So it was about a year and like 4 months, 5 months. And the instant that I got out of dental school, no, while I was in dental school, I was educating myself. I was watching Grant Cardone's videos. I was reading books. I started a book club specifically to educate myself because I just couldn't consistently read books. I was working out. I was making videos. When I got out of dental school, the first chunk of change that I got from the job as a dentist, I spent on recording equipment, I believe, and more courses. I bought like a $10,000 acquisitions course from acquisitions.com, not acquisition.com. That's from Rosie's brand. Acquisitions.com is Moran Pober's brand. I bought their course, and for freaking long time I studied all that stuff. I understood about balance sheets. I understand a little bit more about deal flow, about lead generation, about the amount of reps that you need to put in to actually get a result. So like if you want one person to come to your event, you need to hit up basically 100 people. If you want one acquisition, you basically need to hit up 1,000 people. So it just constantly learning and evolving, and then masterminds, and then conferences, and then books, and then podcasts, whatever I can get my hands on, I'm still doing. So important because I want to be successful. And Martell is telling me, you're going to be successful, bro.
3 phrases that make you a weak speaker.
To be honest, I feel like, I think, start to speak like a leader. Replace social media with learning eloquence. Have you heard about this app, Smarty Me? I replaced scrolling with it, and it's a game changer. Instead of wasting time, you improve your communication skills and eloquence in just 10 minutes a day. You learn how to express your thoughts clearly, connect with people, and sound more confident. It can be addictive too. I recommend everybody to try micro-learning with Smarty Me.
That was strange. Now, word to the wise. So I'm going to send this to the group here. Word to the wise, guys. When it comes down to it, if an advertisement is good, it will give you shit to walk away with right away. So what it said basically was 3 phrases to not use. Let me just see if I can reload this guy. I think this is also AI generated because this woman's hands are moving in a way that does not make any sense to me, but still entertaining. Maybe I should start moving my hands in different ways so that it stays entertaining for people. What do you think? Is this entertaining? So I might just start doing that for fun. Well, let's see. To be honest is a phrase to not use. I feel like is a phrase to not use. Actually, I think is a phrase to not use. Now, do I agree with that? No, but it does basically say the same thing. Be certain in what you are trying to communicate. Agreed. Inspiration. Let me get through another one here. Let's see if I can find a video.
Great people just love working with great people. They do. And there's something about being around great people that pulls some kind of animal out of you that just makes you want to do more and push more and believe things aren't possible. And when you put me around a bunch of other successful entrepreneurs, I just turn into a different human. You put a bunch of A players around more A players, they just build off of each other. But you like put 2 or 3 C players amongst a bunch of great people and they'll start pulling them down. And so everyone knows, get rid of the C player. It's the ones that are like, they're not an A player, but they're not a C player. So it's kind of hard because you still feed off the energy. And if you get enough of them, it just drags the overall culture down. So those are like the worst.
Interesting. So grading people in life. Mr. Beast tells you to grade people in life. A, B, or C players. A players. Oh my God. Well, let me give you a tip. If you want to get A players, you're going to have to go through B and C players. Especially if you're building a business, because you got to get in the reps to understand what qualities B and C players actually have. And most of the time, it's qualities of high emotions, a lot of excuses, and generally doing the same thing a lot, which is talking. I should move my hands and talk, yes. But it's such a powerful statement because at the end of the day, if the ideal is to have a super cut and dry, streamlined system where only A players are allowed in. What a great way to build something. The issue is that you're going to end up doing a lot of fucking work. A lot of work that you don't want to do, which you're going to end up doing anyway. So maybe there's no issue. But if Mr. Beast says, stay around a bunch of A players, that C and B players drag the entire team down, now I got myself thinking about my dental company. I got myself thinking about the network. I got myself thinking about the nonprofit. I got myself thinking about every single group of human beings that I've created so far. I got myself thinking about that. This is what social media can do for you. It can get you to think. Like, I just went through for the last, how many minutes? I just went through for 20 minutes and looked at social media and learned something and hopefully taught something. So actualize your potential, Catalyst. This world needs you. And fix your fucking social media. It's rotting your brain. Peace.